Hello everyone, this is Chris here, and today we'll be talking about, yes, disclosure of extraterrestrial intelligence, and they are engaging our planet. It is all underway at the moment. I'm going to read off an article for you, and if you want to read it for yourself, I'll read a little bit. The person who wrote this article was her name is Lisa. I'm not going to even try and pronounce her last name. I'm sorry, but I cannot pronounce her last name. She's a doctor, anthropologist, futurist, and a researcher, and a light worker. I'm pretty sure you guys may be familiar with the word or the name of a light worker. If you don't know what it is, Google it. But put it bluntly, that means that person is a very nice person and tries to bring light into the world. Not actual light, but emotionally making people feel brilliant, basically. And basically, she goes on talking about the US government and the recent reveal from the Pentagon about the unidentified aerial phenomena, or UFOs, so UFO/UAP, same thing, and that was the investigation. She released this article, and she's a part of the Lisa is a part of the disclosure activist. I've got to admit, I am somewhat a part of this group. I do help whenever I can, whenever I feel like I'm able to do so. I do help out. Hence why I'm making this video, because I want people to know who the disclosure activists are. And it could be you, it's me, and many other people. And the founders of the disclosure activist group is Russell, Kalka, and Lisa. I think I pronounced your name right, both of you, I'm not sure, but if I have, good. They do contact other press outlets out there, and they've managed to get the disclosure activists out there on like the Daily Mirror, the Telegraph, I believe. I'll try and find some other articles that were, you know, made by, not exactly by them, but about them in the group and the whole movement. I think you can understand what it might actually be about. The disclosure activists, if you don't know who they are or what it's about, it's basically obviously about the unidentified flying objects, but also they are wanting to push forward, basically lobbying against the government to try and push the government to release UFO files and make them tell the absolute truth in regards to extraterrestrial intelligence engaging the human race, and just admit it and tell us what they know. They clearly know a lot more. Now, this Pentagon release is just a little snippet. Apparently they spent $22 million on a secret UFO program to identify these threats, and if they are threats, and rightfully so. We ought to know if they are a threat or not, and I think we would realize if they are a threat or not. We wouldn't be here. We would be dead. I think this planet is. I don't think it's suitable for them. Reason being, each planet has its certain biosphere and biome. One will be toxic. It will be a biological hazard for them. So they have to wear a suit, most likely. A bit like how we wear a suit in certain areas that are not sanitary. But anyway, I'm going to read a bit of this. Not all of it, but a bit of it. Apparently on December 20th, as you may know, 2017, in Seattle, Washington, and New York, the disclosure activists have been reporting that there is a well-orchestrated plan by elements formerly and currently within the US government who are seeking formal disclosure of the extraterrestrial presence that has been engaging our planet for decades. There are similar efforts underway in many countries around the globe. Last week, the plan for disclosure stepped into high gear with several earth-shattering revelations about the US government's research into the UFO UAP phenomenon. Now, the title of this, I forgot, it's not exactly the title of it. Apparently there's like a screenshot of the post that the CN Politics have made, and it says former Pentagon UFO official says we may not be alone. If you look at the previous video, one before this video that you're watching now, there will be, I think his name is Elizondo something, Luis Elizondo, that's it. He's a former UFO official who worked for the Pentagon, the DoD, Department of Defense. And he was assigned $22 million, probably more if I'm honest. And for all we know, that project is still going on, and I believe it is still going on. That's my take on it. I think it is still going on. They may have pulled the plug, but I tell you now, they most likely have some other billionaire, like the Rockefellers or whoever, funding in this because they can harvest the technology, reverse engineer the ET craft to make it our own. It makes you wonder how it cannot be from this Earth. If such a high G-force can kill us, and you see them zapping around, that is clearly not of Earth origin. I've never seen conventional Earth craft before. Like crafts that are from this Earth. I've never seen anything like it before. I don't think it's from Earth. We got the technology from right there. And the former Pentagon UFO official says, we may not be alone. I agree with him. I don't think we're alone. He's hinting at disclosure. Now, they also worked closely with Robert Bigelow, Aerospace, a space technology company, founder and government contractor, who has gone on the record about his absolute belief in extraterrestrials. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube video out there somewhere. Just in case you haven't seen it, I think I have every right to have a bit of the clip. So I'm going to put it on now, and let me know what you think.
Do you believe in aliens?
I'm absolutely convinced. That's all there is to it.
Do you also believe that UFOs have come to Earth?
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. And I've spent millions and millions. I probably spent more as an individual than anybody else in the United States has ever spent on this subject.
Is it risky for you to say, you know, in public that you believe in UFOs and aliens?
I don't care.
You don't worry that some people will say, did you hear that guy? He sounds like he's crazy.
I don't care.
Why not?
It's not going to make a difference.
I am very convinced that we have been visited by aliens, extra-dimensional beings. They have been here for a very long time, since the dawn of humanity. Some say just before. Well, some scientists also believe that we have been seeded here. It's called panspermia. And, you know, there's more growing evidence each day is coming forward that we have been seeded here in some way, whether it's by an asteroid or an alien civilization or civilizations. And an unbiased point of view, no, I'm not just saying this because I've had my own disclosure and that I'm convinced. There's another reason why I believe in the way I do, is eyewitness testimonies. People who are higher ranked. They are like CAOs, sergeants, people who worked from Area 51, like I said, pilots, officials, former and officials of Pentagon have come out. What more do you want? There's a load of UFO files that have been released already from the UK, from UK files and the US and Canada. And I'm not sure about other countries, but I'm pretty sure they all have their own disclosure in some way. And a lot of sightings and experiences can be explained, but the officials have also stated that there's a small percentage. I don't care if it's a small percentage or what. That's percentage. Doesn't matter if it's 1%, 0.1% or whatever. It is big to me. 0.1% or probably a bit higher than that, I believe, that cannot be explained. It's unexplainable. And these are the craft that go really fast and just change directions and just unusual. Now that, my friends, is why I believe, because there's growing amount of evidence, and I just cannot put my head in the sand anymore. And I've studied this for almost 8 years. It's almost been 8 years. So once New Year is past, that means it's been 8 years of me studying this. And I'm bearing in mind I'm 21 years old now. And it, like I said, it didn't take a second for this to happen. It didn't take overnight. It was a gradual change for me, but it was a big change in beliefs and the way I thought about life and everything. And it really is an eye-opener. So please open your eyes today, join the disclosure activists, and to join Airpulse UFO ET Disclosure International Disclosure Project on Facebook. There's going to be links below. We really need people to push the government, pressure government, because the more pressure we put on them, the better. The more files, more footages they will release. There is clearly an internal fight, struggle, and let's hope we will win that struggle.